Insurance, the sexiest of topics. This is becoming a big problem for homeowners, buyers, sellers in other states. California and Florida come to mind. My question is, how worried about this do we need to be here in Massachusetts? Certainly, we may be experiencing some weather pattern changes of our own. We have some well-known cases of problems with coastal property. In particular, there's just one in the news. We'll talk about that. Let's drill down on the situation occurring elsewhere, and then I'll relate it back to our situation here in the Northeast. Importantly, how are property values and prices affected? That's always the lens I'm seeing this stuff through. I'm Craig Power with Power Realty Advisors, serving Greater Boston and the South Shore. Major insurance companies are flocking out of California and Florida. It's a problem in the real estate market in those states. Big name companies making the business decision to get out entirely. They're citing the obvious. It's the risk of catastrophic events, natural disasters. In California, it's wildfires. In Florida, it's hurricanes, it's flooding. As a result, insurance premiums are shooting up. We talk about home affordability every damn day. I'm on a therapist couch talking about these things. A key point is cost to build, the math, the risk proposition. One of the ways your insurance premium is determined. This is the whole way insurance works. That has to do with replacement cost. Now it costs so much to build, to rebuild. Combine that with the fact that there's an increased risk or perceived risk that can affect transactions, loans, can affect property values. So the takeaways, and if you work in insurance, by all means chime in. I'd say number one, when you have additional costs or risks like this associated with the property, that just hurts its value. It's sort of just dollars and cents, right? A higher insurance premium versus another property, lower premium, all things being equal, the value of that other property is higher. And number two, sometimes perception is reality in housing too. Any sentiment of increased risk of wildfires, of flooding affects value. Now, I understand in those other states, there are state-sponsored programs for insurance that aren't entirely working out. As far as Massachusetts is concerned, you're going to start to hear about this, I think, more and more. It's always been a thing, Northshore, South Shore. There are other coastal areas. Beach erosion, sea level rise, and storm flooding. We had a situation recently, North Shore, Salisbury Beach, this was news. A group of homeowners, coastal area, raised $565,000 for protective sand dunes. They shipped in 10,000 plus tons of sand. The idea was to create barriers from the ocean, protecting their homes, their neighborhood. They did the project. They completed it. 3 days later, storm rolled in and devoured the dunes, wiped them off the face of the earth, like literally 3 days later, up in smoke. People were quoted as saying, great, the dunes did their job. We didn't totally expect it would happen that quickly, but they did their job. I thought they sounded a little self-congratulatory, which good for them. Good for them. Now, there are people up there, presumably homeowners in that area. Now they're appealing to the state for help. We need funding. We need protection. It's a really hard situation for these people. I really is. These are their homes. It's not just massive investments. They got memories there. I'm just saying these are people. What's coming. What's coming. This appears to be a losing battle, right? One that I would prefer wasn't handed over to the taxpayers. I'm not against every beach fortification measure. I'm not. I live in a coastal town. I'm not. But these beach barrier efforts, they can be looked at as a joke because a lot of the times they are a joke. They are a joke. I haven't seen these houses in Salisbury, but it sounds like, let's be honest, right? Read the story for yourself. It sounds like they're going to get walloped. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it sounds like they're going to get walloped, and the writing's on the wall. I would say the same thing here that we say about zoning, planning, a lot of local issues. We got to take a 100-year view to figure this out. At least the government, meet me in the middle, call it a 50-year view. We got to consider and plan for the next generations. I would say it doesn't sound like the way it's framed Again, haven't seen them. Doesn't sound like these houses have 50 years. That could be me reading it wrong, but history has shown it just takes one good storm. And obviously here, you have the makings of not just insurance issues, but resale issues, issues of property value related to the location. This will continue to be a topic in coastal towns in Massachusetts. You know, when the premiums go up, that will affect transactions, buying power, and prices. There's a whole domino effect to that. And where are the thresholds? Where are the lines for these major insurance companies? In Massachusetts, we may be finding out sooner rather than later. Hopefully later. I shouldn't say it like that. We'll be finding out sooner or later. We'll find out at some point. Like I said, hopefully later. I'll tell you, if you're buying coastal property today, keep your head on a swivel. That's all I'm saying. Because if your market ever gets saturated too, there's a rush to sell, that would affect your bottom line as well. Thank you for watching. Craig Power, Power Realty Advisors. Get in touch. More videos on the way.